Hiya guys, and welcome back to Wade's Workshop. So I'm, I won't say fully recovered, but I'm negative of the old, the big COVID now. It's all gone, and I'm just gradually getting back to full speed. But yeah, I'm not there yet, but I am getting there. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's done, it's dusted, happy days, and it wasn't that bad after all. So, that said, I have managed to spend a little bit of time in the shed. I've been getting on with various things, more of the mechanical assembly of the carriage and the bedways, and I've been getting on with a bit of the electrics as well. I'll see how much of it we can fit into this video without making it too long. So let's dive into it and have a look what we've been doing. So I think we're going to have to call me Lucky Aid from now on. This box here was the original control box. You'll notice it is green. The red paint, the Sealy red paint, just scrapes off. I can sort of demonstrate. 2 seconds. Got a razor blade here somewhere. That's what I was using. So yeah, as you can see, it's in fact this one, for some reason, doesn't scrape off so easily. How weird is that? So it seems that this one was made of red plastic, and this one, as you can see from the overspray on the inside, was made of green plastic originally. So not much I can do about that. I was fully expecting the paint to scrape off that guard, so that shot me in the foot, but never mind. Right, so it fits smack on in place. This will all be painted, obviously, to the correct colour. So I'm going to reuse all the original controls on the top for the main motor. So there's an e-stop. It's a double pole e-stop, so one of the poles, the one that wasn't being used, I'm going to use to kill the 24 volt supply for all the stepper motor, the drive system. The lead screw drive system. So an e-stop will not only kill the motor, it will also kill the drive system as well, so that's great. It had a two-way switch on the top here, off, on, off, forward and reverse, which I'm going to keep. I'm sure I can use that with the inverter to run the motor. It had a fuse holder here, which I'm going to use as a fuse for the system, the 24 volt system. And here was the potentiometer, which was for the variable speed, which I may be able to reuse, or maybe get a different pot that'll fit in here to get the variable speed for the motor. Right, so that said, I've cut a hole in the front here. I have worked it out, it'll all fit for the digi display for the RPM counter, which we did earlier. The pulse signal generator with its potentiometer on the front is going to fit in there, and it does all fit. Then we'll have the on-off switch for the feed, and then the forward and reverse switch, which I'll put in sideways for the feed in the third hole. So I've already popped the holes in using the original rubber gland. But yeah, I mean, lucky that this fitted without fouling on the motor down the bottom. There's about a millimetre clearance, so there's the luck. The only thing I had to do was cut a little notch in the bottom here to avoid the clamp down bolt. But with that done, it does all come on, back on, keep the rubber gland, well, you can see the idea. It does all fit back on the original bolt holes as well, so that's great news. So with the lead screw back in place, I think I'm going to rebuild the saddle here underneath, or not the saddle but the carriage underneath that runs on the drive rack. So I'm going to clean up the drive rack for the hand wheel, probably scrape some more paint off underneath the bed here, clean this up, get this refitted on some decent screws. It was all loose before and one of the screws was actually broken. So we'll get that all refitted on here, and that'll be like another step forward. So I just put the saddle on, and yeah, it goes back and forth, no problem. But this, I can't live with that. So I'm going to take that apart again, see where the issue lies, and do an aid on it, because that, I don't think I can live with that. I mean, this, yeah, I can change this rattly horrible handle, but it's the spindle, it's the slop in there. It is greased up inside. I won't be able to live with that, so let's sort it out. Just taking the hand wheel off just to show you the spindle, and yeah, it's just a shaft running straight through the casting, and it's well, it's a horrible fitting there. So we'll sort something out with that, I'm sure. I got a piece of bronze bar, and I'm going to bore that hole out, a 13mm, which I'm in the process of doing. Using the head bead, come down, just gently boring it out, 0.2 at a time, till I get to 13mm or thereabouts. Obviously I can make the bush to suit. I'm going to make it a light tap fit with some Loctite. I'm going to pre-bore it to suit the diameter on here. I'll probably give this a polish up first. Measures up about 9.9, and the original hole in here measured up just over 10mm. 10mm reamer fell in there. So yeah, I'm boring it out and bushing it. Just a very quick measurement at the point where the bush is passing through, and the wall thickness there is in fact smack on the button 13mm. So okay, so 13mm, the bush has got to be long with a 13 OD. So I'm just turning down this piece of bronze, 13 diameter, or it's 13.1-ish it's going to be. I think I'm getting very close, over a length of 13mm. So just a scratch across there. Let me just check that actually has a bit in the bore. So I'm looking for there's a touch more to come off that actually. I'm looking for a sort of just a slight running fit in the hole, but you know, almost the same fit as I want the pin to be, just that sort of run. I'm going to take that scratch across there. And we'll try it again. I'm just taking half a line on my dial, I'm not even looking at the DRO. Over a length of, in fact I want to go just a hair over 13 finished, so I think I'll go to that point now. I did set a 0 on the end of the part. Let's go 13.05. There. Okay, let's just try that again. It should be very close. You know that's just trying to go in. I'm going to leave it alone. Come on, off you come. There. I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it there. So, I think a little clean up on my OD. Just to clean up. That'll do. Centre drill it and drill it out 9mm. I don't see why not. Let's do that on camera now. Let's grab a centre drill. Take the chuck out. Let's have that feed off. We don't need that now. If I drill it out about 18mm deep, something like that, probably do, because I'm going to be parting it off. Just put that centre drill away, chuck back in. Yeah, I'm going to go straight in with a 9mm drill, I think. Why not? Just grab one. Come somewhere near. 18 mil deep, or thereabouts. I did 18 turns from when I saw the drill go in. So I think part that off now, leaving maybe a 2 mil shoulder on there. Let me just break that leading edge. Just break the leading edge there. Okay. Obviously, if I'm gonna, I could bore it out now, but I wouldn't be able to use the pin as a gauge. It wouldn't go in far enough without drilling in deeper, wasting more bronze. So, maybe leave like a 2 mil head on there temporarily. That'll do. Let's power that off. There we are. That's him parted off. Yeah, back up in the 3-jaw with the part, and we'll set up a boring bar. It's a bit grubby in there, too much dust lurking about. Paintbrush, there it is. Get rid of the dust out of there. Put the bush back in. There we go. Let's just face the bush off. That'll do me. Actually going to break that edge as well. I just had that file, put it down, and I can't find it again. There it is. Right, let's be careful here. Okay. So set up a boring bar and bore it out. This should be near enough a finishing cut. I'm hoping. Says I. And if it's too big, we'll start all over again. Okay. Ooh. That's all wobbly on the end of there. Oh, not a lot I can do about that, apart from make an entire new one. We'll clock this up, put a new guts in it. Okay, well, it's certainly a lot better than we were. Let's just break that front edge. Don't want to use a noga on it. Let's pop him out. I think that's going to be a vast improvement. We can only try it, can't we? We'll try it and see how we get on. I'll assemble it, put it together, and if we got to go down a different route, we got to go down a different route. But well, we'll try it. My disappointment is that wobble in that gear, but that's, yeah, okay, not much I can do about that at this stage. I've got a bit of Loctite on there. I have to just centralise that about there. Okay, let's press her in. There was a bit down in the bore. Okay, we'll have that back out of there. Give that a wipe up. And that should have closed up here, perhaps. I did degrease it first. Okay, oh, it doesn't go in that way, you Wally. I can feel something, but I'm going to live with that. So, you know, that wobbles about all over the place, that gear. But there's no movement in it now. Okay, we'll call that a former success. So I've actually put the whole carriage back together, but as you can see, there's no rock in this handle now, and it's all operating correctly. I don't like this, but yeah. Now, one of the reasons I've done this, or put it all back together, is just to see if there's any other sort of fitting I need to do. Everything's gone together okay. Obviously I've, you know, removed the burrs and drags and lumps and bumps off the slide waist. I've refitted the gib key and put the 3 screws in. Now, on my original compound on the Warco lathe, I increased the number of screws on the gib. It's a job I can do on this going forward, but as it stands at the moment, it all seems to operate quite nicely. I tightened the screws right in, just nipped tight, and then just backed them off a hair and locked the lock nuts. In fact, I know I haven't locked the lock nuts yet, actually. Need to get out my 7mm spanner. I do have one somewhere. But yeah, it's all working correct. Now, there's a fair bit of backlash. In fact, it is 11th hour backlash in the nut, which is okay. Another thing I need to look at now is the DRO on this axis. Yeah, I haven't really thought about that yet. I think it's going to take quite a bit of thinking about as to where to put it for the best, but that's for another episode. So, yeah, it's coming along, all the carriage fitted together. The lead nuts only just missed the brass block on the end here, but they do miss it, so happy with that as well. I need to start thinking about doing some of the electrics and, you know, getting a box together with a power supply to the 24 volt, all that sort of thing. So a bit of shopping to do. And then we can move on. So, electrical enclosure has turned up, basically PVC box. There's the inverter. I've had this in stock for quite some time. My thinking is I'm going to mount the inverter on the cover of the box, and then I've got a 24 volt power supply, and my stepper controller can go inside the box. I can use the inside of the box for all the junctions, connections, that sort of thing. And then the whole box can be mounted on the wall behind the lathe. Sort of mounted on upright in this sort of orientation. So yeah, that's my thinking there. So yeah, I need to get and mount some of this stuff inside and what have you. Well, I think that's about it for this one, guys. I'm going to be moving on to doing some of the electrics and working out the wiring, that sort of thing, in a future video. But as I say, that's for another video. Just a little point of interest, at the time when I'm editing this, I think we're on 11,992 subscribers. So obviously, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed and you want to see more, hit that little subscribe button, and let's see if we can cross that 12,000 threshold. Anyway, as per usual, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for liking and subscribing, and we'll see you all very soon. Cheers now.